is living in close proximity with animals as human-wildlife conflict becomes a growing concern. Reports show population growth and climate change are now exacerbating conflicts between humans and wildlife as drought pushes lions, elephants and other wildlife ever so closer to water holes and vegetation that lie near human settlements.
African conservationists at the recently wrapped United Nations Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species in South Africa called for renewed efforts to curb human-wildlife conflict. Some communities have lived near wildlife habitats for generations, but reports show that population growth and climate change are exacerbating the conflicts between humans and animals.
It is really a problem. Every year, lions eat cattle here, hyenas eat sheep, and sometimes goats are eaten by snakes when they are drinking water in the river. When the buffaloes migrate here to give birth, there is no grass left. Our cattle are left with nothing. There are so many issues.
Nairobi National Park, which was established in 1946, gives visitors the chance to see lions, giraffes, zebras and other wildlife against a backdrop of high-rise buildings. Conservationists say that work on transport projects aimed at decongesting and developing the city is affecting animal behavior and leading to increased incidents of wildlife leaving the park in search of quieter hunting grounds. This year, there have been at least 3 incidents where lions have strayed from the park into residential estates in Nairobi and its environs.
In the human-wildlife conflicts, people have died, animals have also died, some people also kill the wildlife. Whenever people kill the wildlife, the lions and others, cheetahs, people are usually arrested. But when we lose our animals, there is no compensation. We are yet to see anybody who has ever received compensation from the government for losing their animals or even their lives to wildlife.
Some of the proposals put forward by African countries at the CITES COP17 were the practice of conservation hunting, which they say will not only curb human-wildlife conflicts but also deter poachers.
When you have got an increase in animals, you end up having an overabundance of certain species in certain areas, which naturally would then spill over into the communities where people are living, and hence the issue of human-wildlife conflict. And hunting is one way of controlling those numbers, because what we are doing is conservation hunting.
But some conservationists say the practice is unethical and would not help solve the problem.
The wildlife of Africa is clearly one of the greatest wealths of this continent. And what CITES is trying to do is really to ensure that wildlife populations are sustained because they have economic value, because if they're overused, they can lead to severe poverty and actually security problems.
Across Africa, a battle against poaching is raging, but often being lost. African elephants' numbers, for example, fell by 20% between 2006 and 2015 because of a surge in ivory poaching. There have been some successes. Uganda has seen its elephant population recover from 800 in the 1980s to reach about 5,000 now. But officials say poaching is back on the rise. The problem is not just big-time poachers seeking ivory, which can sell for about $1,000 a kilogram or more. Illegal hunters are sometimes locals seeking meat to eat or sell to pay school fees. Killing game, meanwhile, has knock-on effects. It destroys prey chased by carnivores such as lions and leopards, causing their numbers to drop.